Hey folks, Justin Coupler here with another Auto Gazine review. I am in a 2017 Toyota Highlander Hybrid. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Highlander lineup, for 2017, Toyota did a pretty significant refresh. It has a new bolder front grille, a new front bumper, a new rear bumper, and ever so slightly tweaked taillights. Not too sure exactly what Toyota did to the taillights. I'm still searching, but they claim they're redone. I'll take their word for it. Inside, what you get is not too much more except four, count them, four brand new USB ports. That brings a grand total of USB ports to five USB ports in this 7-passenger crossover. I think you got enough charging points to keep the entire family happy. In fact, I've only found 3 of the 5 charge ports. I'm not sure where the other 2 are, but I'm assuming they're in the third row somewhere where I'm not going because that's a little too small for me. But if you find them, let me know. Now, with this crossover, mine came as the limited platinum trim level, which is the very tippy top of the Toyota Highlander hybrid range. That means you get all the goodies. You get 19-inch Chromatech wheels, Chromatech roof rack, power, heated mirrors, this comfy leather everywhere with heat and ventilation on these seats. The ladder comes in very good handy down here in Florida where it is 80 degrees in the wintertime. Yes, it's 80 degrees. We've had one of the warmest winters on record. Don't know why, but it's super warm down here and they keep me pretty comfortable. You also get this 8-inch touchscreen, which also includes navigation and a pretty nifty infotainment system. Unlike Lexus, which is Toyota's sister company, this infotainment system is very slick. It doesn't have that weird, funky, piss you off mouse thingy that Lexus uses. And it's all touchscreen. It's all right where you expect it to be. It's all intuitive. It's very, very responsive. Unlike Lexus, where you enter an address and it thinks and thinks and thinks, then slowly reads the address off to you. This one, you punch it in real quick, it reads the address immediately, and off you go. It takes you about 20 seconds, whereas Lexus, you're waiting a good 40 seconds for it to go through. Also, this infotainment system has a wonderful audio system attached to it. It has a 12 speaker JBL audio system. That's not shake your teeth loose, but it's definitely pretty stout for this this big family crossover. So when you're playing, Wheels on a Bus or whatever kiddie song you're playing, you get to feel the bass. Trust me, I feel the bass every time I hear my kids' songs. But yes, there's lots of audio that goes through this thing, all kinds of goodies, and it is a 7-passenger crossover. So it has 2 seats here, 2 captain chairs back here, which are really nice because it keeps those 2 kids nice and separate. So there's no, Daddy, Johnny's touching me. No, I'm not. He took my car. None of that, because there's a good 1.5 foot in between them. And then you have the third row back there, which is actually folded right now. But the third row is good for older kids and younger teenagers. If you try to put an adult back there, they're probably going to be pretty pissed at you because they're going to have to contort their bodies like a pretzel to fit back there. But for a short drive, might be okay. One downside to having that third row and putting a third row up is that you drop a lot of cargo room. It drops it down to just under 15 cubic feet. So if you have 7 people and you're planning on hauling some stuff, like hauling soccer balls or other sports equipment or just something back there, you're going to find it pretty difficult. You might need something even bigger than this, although it's kind of hard to find. Once you fold that third row down, you got all the room you're really going to need. You can fit all the soccer balls and everything back there. The only thing I have a hard time with is the captain's chairs, because they're captain's chairs, don't fold flat to the floor. So you don't have a nice even loading floor on the back end when you put all the seats down. You have a little gap in between the two captain's chairs and a gap where the floor is in front of the 2 captain's chairs. But a good thing is it's very, very easy to fold those captain chairs. It's 2 steps, pull one lever, pull another lever, and they fold down. So it is pretty easy. You're just not going to get a fold flat floor. And speaking of loading cargo, like I said, this thing has a power lift gate in the back, which is very, very nice to have. You just push the button up, it opens, you slide your stuff in, you push another button, you go load the kids up. By the time they're loaded up, the thing's closed, off you go. The only problem is that it doesn't have one of those little cool foot things or something where you can put your foot under it or just stand behind it and it opens up automatically. You still have to have that free hand to push the button to open it up. But take the good with the bad. But overall, the interior and all the features in this thing are simply incredible. I love it. It really feels like a luxury SUV inside here, but it's not a luxury price, which we'll get to later. Now, the powertrain is also new for 2017. Yes, it still has the old 3.5 liter V6. Yes, it still has the electric engine that boosts the power and torque a little bit. But Toyota increased the overall system power to 306 horsepower. That's 26 extra horsepower compared to last year's Highlander hybrid. Now, that's not going to make this some, rocket or a 5-second 0 to 60. No. It makes it just good enough. It's about 7.2 to 7.5 seconds to 60 miles an hour, and it just feels confident. If you're merging onto the highway, you feel confident getting onto the highway. You're not nervously looking over your shoulder hoping to beat that truck. You're going to get up there and you're going to get in front of whatever you need to with really no problem at all. But if you're expecting to go out there and just slam the gas and do 5 seconds to 60, sorry, you're going to be disappointed with that 300 horsepower. Now, one thing this also does that's a little rare for an SUV this size is it's actually kind of nimble. Now, you're not going to go carving corners down some mountain road, but it handles corners confidently. A lot of that has to do with the battery system and the hybrid system that's really low down, gives it a lower center of gravity, makes it feel more grounded, and the wider wheels that come with the Platinum package and all that. But it really does handle well. In addition to handling well, it's also very comfortable. So the suspension's not tuned to a point where it's rocky or bumpy and just feels uncomfortable. You still get a very nice ride. On top of that, you get a whisper quiet interior. You hear a little bit of engine noise coming from up front, but all the other noise coming from outside, you don't hear it. You don't hear the loud car going past. You don't hear the horn honk. You don't hear people yelling. And now you will hear if a really loud motorcycle comes flying by, you are going to hear that, of course. And you do get a little bit of wind noise, which is common in Toyotas because they don't seal quite as well as the luxury cars. They don't put that much time into it, but it's very small and it's a very good trade-off for everything else you're getting for this vehicle. Now, safety is an area that Toyota focused big time on in the newest years, and all the 2017, 2018 models. Toyota is big on safety. Toyota Safety Sense is one of the things that it's spread across almost its entire lineup, save for a few models for I think the Toyota 4Runner and one of the Priuses maybe, but it's spread the Toyota Safety Sense to everything except those models, and that includes the Highlander hybrid. So with this, you're getting that system that has the dynamic radar cruise control. It also has automatic emergency braking, which the IIHS loves when it comes to testing these vehicles. And it comes with lane keep assist, lane departure warning, and all those goodies. So this is a IIHS top safety pick plus vehicle. It receives good ratings in all the basic crash tests. It receives a superior rating in its front collision avoidance. And it also received an acceptable rating, I believe it was, in a headlight test, which is the new requirement for getting that plus rating. So you have all those good things going for it. It's an extremely safe vehicle, but I did have some complaints. Of course I have complaints. I always have complaints. One thing I didn't like is the lane keep assist was not aggressive enough. It lets you actually drift out of the lane before it pulled you in. One lane keep assist system I love is the one Acura uses. The Acura lane keep assist system actually will preemptively pull you in line before you go out of the lane. So if you're starting to drift, it'll pull you over. And actually, if you let go of the steering wheel, it'll almost drive the vehicle for you. Although I don't recommend doing that, it will do it. The other complaint I have about this is the dynamic radar system, or actually rather, it's just a radar cruise control system, does not actually adjust to stop and go traffic. It'll slow you down. If someone in front of you is doing 20 miles per hour slower than you, it'll slow you down. But what it will not do is bring the vehicle to a complete stop. So if you're looking for one of these where you can just set the cruise control and just drive, and not just hold the steering wheel, not worry about stopping and going, it's not going to do that. It will slow down, but it will not come to a complete stop. So that's a minor trade-off, and honestly, do you really want to trust those systems? That's up to you. I have a hard time doing it. Even if I do have a vehicle that has that, I have my foot hovering over the brake at all time. Now let's talk a bit about price, because price is kind of a big deal for this vehicle. This Highlander Hybrid Limited Platinum starts out just shy of $50,000. It's $48,000 and some change. So that's a lot of money for a Toyota crossover. Now it is a hybrid, so you're going to get that extra mile fuel economy, which is 30 miles per gallon city, 28 highway, and 29 combined. But that's still a lot of money. But you're getting some features, but you're getting up there in luxury car range. Now, if you just want this model, but you don't need all the goodies, you're in luck, because 2017 is a year that Toyota finally introduced a real base trim level for the Highlander hybrid. Before, you had to go through the higher trim levels. It started at, I think it was just over $46,000. Now you can actually get a Toyota Highlander Hybrid LE, which is Toyota's base trim level. You can actually get that and only pay about $36,000. So you're actually about $11,000 cheaper than last year's lowest priced Highlander Hybrid. What's more, when you get into the other trim levels, like this one, it's actually a few $1,000s cheaper than last year's model. That has more features, the Toyota Safety Sense, the more powerful engine and all that stuff. It's actually a few $1,000s cheaper than the 2016 model. So you're in even better shape at that point. So yes, you're paying a lot, but you're getting a lot for the package you're paying for. So who should buy a Toyota Highlander Hybrid Limited Platinum? People who want a lot of features for their money, number one. So if you want a luxury car, but you can't quite swing that luxury car payment, the Highlander Hybrid Limited Platinum is probably a good choice for you. At just shy of $40,000, you're getting about $60,000 worth of car if you get a BMW or a Mercedes or something like that. An equivalently equipped vehicle will be in the $60,000 range, maybe the high 50s if you're lucky. Also, it's for families who are big. It's for a 7-person family. If you only have 4 people in your family like I do, this thing is way too big for you. It's not hard to drive, but you really don't want to drive something this big with only 4 people in it. Although my wife, who doesn't like big vehicles, is now begging me to buy this thing, I still don't suggest it for smaller families. And also, if you have kids who are going to be in their upper teens soon, they're going to be 15, 16, 17, they're hitting adult sizes, probably not good for you because that third row is a little bit small. You probably want to go something even bigger than this. Also, if you do a lot of hauling, if you do a lot of hauling of things and have seven people to put in your car, you're going to have a hard time too because you're not going to fit a lot in that back seat. But it is for someone who wants to haul. If you haul a boat oftentimes, but you still want the benefits of a hybrid, this thing can actually haul up to 3,500 pounds and still get great gas mileage. So there you have it. Who I think needs this vehicle, who I think should not buy this vehicle. Go to your local Toyota dealership if you think this fits your needs. Give it a test drive and let me know what you think in the comments below. Next week, I will be back with yet another test drive. I am driving the 2017 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. From this nice loaded up luxurious rig to a Mitsubishi. I'm going to reserve judgment. I'm going to do my best, and we'll see you guys next week in the Mitsubishi. Thanks again for tuning in. Ciao.